The Lord sent these nations against us. The Lord sent enemies against us because we broke his laws, statutes, and commandments. Read on.
In hunger.
In hunger we should serve our enemies. As black men today, would you say that we serve our enemies for food? In history, us going into slavery, we've lost our nationality. We've lost who we were. Give me Jeremiah 17:4.
Teach them all.
So, right, today we would call ourselves what? African American, Hispanics, Mexicans, Cubans, right? But that is not our God-given name. God calls us the children of Israel, right? But let me show you what happened. Read that.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4.
Read out.
And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
Thyself, it's talking to you. It's talking to the Hispanics out here. It's talking to all of us. It said that we would discontinue from our heritage. We would lose our identity, knowing that Christ was a black man, knowing that the prophets were black, knowing that we are the children of Israel. It said we will what?
Discontinue from thine heritage.
Right, so we discontinue from our heritage. How did that happen? How did we lose our heritage? In slavery, when they put the yokes of iron upon our neck, right? So we're going to prove to you that you are not an African American. You are from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
Right? You are an Israelite.
Word.
You know who else comes from the tribe of Judah? This mighty man right here, Jesus Christ, right? This is a depiction of Jesus Christ. This image right here, right? So my brother just read to you that Christ is a black man, right? But in Christianity, we've been taught this. This image is hanging up in a Christian church, right? But this is false. This is the Antichrist, right? Read that.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Our Lord Jesus Christ sprang out of Judah, right? So if, hey, boss man. Hey, boss man, listen to this.
Listen.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 14.
Don't leave yet. We got some good information to show you, right?
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Right.
Our Lord sprang out of Judah, right? Christ was a so-called black man. Give me Deuteronomy 28, bro. Hey, bro, stick around. Give me like 5 minutes. I'm going to prove to you that you come from the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, right? You from Benny's Ford? You stay up there in Charlotte? Okay. We be up there a lot. Give me 5 minutes. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right, so Moses is speaking to the children of Israel. It said, if you don't listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, meaning what?
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right, so if we didn't listen to God, meaning keep his commandments, that God will put curses upon the children of Israel, right? So give me verse 48.
This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. Listen to what God is calling these other nations. Read that from the top again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Right. The Lord sent these nations against us. The Lord sent enemies against us because we broke his laws, statutes, and commandments. Read on.
In hunger.
In hunger we should serve our enemies. As black men today, would you say that we serve our enemies for food? No, why would you say that?
I mean, some people do, but it's different types.
Some people do. We all do.
That's right.
Right? Where you go get your groceries from?
Grocery store.
The grocery store. Who on the grocery store? Who on Walmart? Who on Food Line?
Ain't no telling.
The other nations do.
Yeah.
I tell you that our people don't. We don't own those things, right? We might, let's say we might have a little restaurant spot. We might have a little chicken spot, chicken and waffle spot. But guess what? Where we get the food from that we cooking?
There, the grocery store.
The grocery store are those big food companies who produce the food, right? Our people don't own that.
That's right.
Right? Read on.
In hunger and in thirst.
And in thirst, right? If you don't pay your water bill, what's going to happen? It's going to cut off. So we serving our enemies for food and thirst. Dasani, Fiji, we can't even catch rainwater. They say it's illegal, right? We serving our enemies for all these things. Read.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. Hey, where you get that wife beater from? The store. Who own that store? Not our people. Read on.
Teach him, Mark.
And in want of all things.
And in want of all things. You went to school? Who taught you your education?
Myself.
Not yourself. They in want of all things. Education. Let's say you wanna be a carpenter, right? Where do our people own those schools? Right? Let's say you want to be a lawyer. Do our people own those colleges, run those colleges? No, we might have a black teacher, right? But the school in general, our people don't own that, right? Read on.
And in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And he, your enemy, will put a yoke of iron upon your neck. Who put yokes of iron upon the so-called black man? We all know the other nations, the white man, right? So this, keep in mind, this, Moses is speaking to the children of Israel, right? So Moses said these things would happen to the children of Israel because they broke God's laws, statutes, and commandments, right? So this proves that we are the people of this book. We are the Jews. We are the Israelites. Give me verse 68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
The Lord will bring you, Israel, into Egypt again. Right? Are you familiar with the history of Moses and the Israelites in Egypt? What they were doing?
I mean, I heard those stories, not me.
Right, so the children of Israel were slaves in Egypt, right? Serving under Pharaoh, hard bondage, right? So they exited out of Egypt under Moses, right? Moses parted the Red Sea, right? I'm sure you heard of that, right? So they left Egypt, but the Lord said, you Israelites will go back into Egypt again. The Israelites never went back into Egypt. So what does the word Egypt mean? Read.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2.
Read out.
I'm the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So when it's referring to Egypt, it's talking about bondage, bonded, slavery, right? So go back to 68, read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into slavery again.
With ships.
With ships. So Moses said that the Israelites would go back into slavery by way of ships. Who did that happen to in history? This is all coming out the Bible. We've never been taught this. This is how we lost our heritage. When we got over here on this side of the world, we were sold as slaves. Read on, it's going to say,
by the word whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Our homeland, read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemy.
We would be sold unto our enemies. Read.
For bondmen,
Slave man,
and bondwomen.
Slave women. So when we got over here, we were sold unto the white man, right? And what did they do to us? They put yokes of iron upon our neck until we were destroyed. How were we destroyed? Go back to Jeremiah 17 and 4, because we read it before. When we got over here, we became destroyed. Read that. Jeremiah 17 and verse 4.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
Right, so when we got over here, when they put us in slavery, they beat what into us? This image right here. That's what they gave us. Right. That's what it means when we lost our heritage. We've lost who we were. Right? We are the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
That's right.
You are not a black man. You are the 12 tribes of Israel from the tribe of Judah.
Right.
And Christ came from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
Right? So you should have some self-esteem about that. You should feel good about yourself. That's good news, right? That we the people of the book. All the prophets of the Bible were black. Give me Job 30 and 30, right?
Teach them all.
I see you kind of moving around. I see you trying to skate. I see you trying to skate. Let me give you this last script. Let me give you this last script before you go. Job 30 and 30.
This is the book of Job, chapter 30 and verse 30. My skin is black upon me.
Job said his skin was black upon him. It don't get more plainer than that. Songs of Solomon 1 and 5, right? It don't get more plainer than that. Job said his skin was black, right? Read. King Solomon, the wisest man that walked the earth, right? Read.
This is the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. I am black.
He said what?
I am black.
Solomon said he was black, right? So the prophets all throughout the Bible were black. All the way from Abraham, Isaac to Jacob, Moses, Job, Solomon, Christ. All the people of the book were black. But we've lost that by disobeying God's laws, statutes, and commandments. So if I were to ask you now, what's your nationality? What would you tell me? We just went through it.
So, okay. I will have to tell you what. I'm going off what you tell me, God is black, and I'm
12, you come from the nation of Israel, from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
Right? So the people of this book were black, right? When you read the Bible, you should be looking at yourself.
That's right.
Right? Because we are the people of this book.
That's right.
Right? These other nations, the white man, this is not their book. Right? They've taught us Christianity. They put their images. Give me that in 1 Maccabees 3 and verse 48. Right? They put their images up. Right? So we would have low self-esteem. We wouldn't think highly of ourselves. But the greatest book is actually our history book. Read.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 48. And laid open the book of the law.
Laid open the book of the law is talking about the Bible. Read.
Wherein that the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
The heathen, meaning these other nations, they painted their images, right? Iconoclasm, right? Read that again.
And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Right, so you see right there, they painted the likeness of their images, right? They're whitewashing the images, right? So that's what happened to us. That's how we've lost our history, right? Give me some more. Is that it on that? All right. Give me Jeremiah 14 and 2, right? Because you from the tribe of Judah. You a Jew, right? The Jews were black. Give me that. Jeremiah 14 and verse 2.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
Right. Judah comes from the word Jew, right? Right. So it said Judah mourning and the gates languish. The gates are supposed to protect, right? It's talking about the leadership. It lacked, right? Read.
They are black unto the ground.
What did it say about the Jews?
They are black unto the ground.
Right. But when we see on this earth today, the so-called Jewish man claiming to be Jews, they are not the real Jews. Give me that in Revelations, right? They painted the likeness of their images. They painted the likeness. They iconoclast the Bible, right? They whitewashed it. They put it as their history book, but this is our history.
That's right.
Right? Read that.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them,
the lies of them,
and I know the blasphemy of them, which say they are Jews and are not.
Right. So those Jewish people, they are not the true Jews. Right? Now this, I know I said I was going to let you go. Now that you know you're an Israelite, right? There's requirements. This last script, Deuteronomy 20 and 12. Now that you know that you are from the 12 tribes of Israel, you are a Jew, right? This Bible is for you. There's requirements that we must do, right? Because we read earlier in Deuteronomy 28 that if the Israelites broke 10 and 12, right? Deuteronomy 10 and 12, that the Israelites, if they broke God's commandments, that these curses got put upon them. The Lord put these curses on us because we broke his laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 12.
Read out.
And I know, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
Right. You, Israel, what does God require of you? You identify yourself as an Israelite now, right? It said, what does God require out of you? Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways,
To walk in all his ways. Read.
and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
How do we do that?
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
To keep the commandments. So, bro, we have to follow after the Bible. We have to start keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? We can't be shaving our beards. We can't be cutting in our beards, having goatees, having a chin strap, right? My beard's a little short, but it's all I can grow. I don't cut into it. I don't shave it off, right? Wearing fringes, that's a commandment. Not smoking, that's a commandment.
That's right.
Not fornicating, sleeping around woman for woman, that's a commandment.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity.